Hello all. I hope you've had a good day. Oh, I'm just like heavy, mentally heavy. And I'm going to share with you guys some things and how it operates with me. First of all, I went by the gas station when I left work early because I just don't feel good. And it's not that I don't feel, it's just mentally I feel really heavy right now. And I felt that way this morning. I'm just connecting so much more, and it's really heavy, especially with everything unfolding with Charlie Kirk and the deception of his life and the deception of his reality and how much I connect to that and how much it hurts. Like, you have to understand the dynamics of living in a world where you absolutely love people so much that you would die for them. And he did. He did actually die for them. In ways they planned his death. And ways mine did too. It's just unfortunate because I didn't die. And they had a different plan for me in reference to the way that they wanted me to seek my death. And it's just really heavy. It's extremely heavy to see how big it is, how gross it is, and it's just something that I don't know that I'll ever get to a place where I accept it. I just don't. I don't see where I would be capable of it. I understand that there's evil in the world. I understand that there's darkness in the world. I realize that. And I run so much alongside humility and kindness and forgiveness and empathy and grace that my heart, it won't go dark. It won't go vengeful. No matter what, it just never will. But it'll hurt. It'll be disappointed. It'll be strengthened. It'll be aware. It'll advocate. It will speak truth, and spread my messages, spread my words out into the world, out into humanity, out into the collective, for it to be received how it is received. And that's just what it's designed for. That's what my purpose is to be that, be an example of it. Be an example of Christ. Be an example of daughter of God. A sister to Jesus and the divine and source and the universe and the Most High, and to do the right thing to the best of my abilities, But I stopped by a gas station and I was going to get in my car, and there was this car that pulled up, and I went to go get in my car, and the guy looked at me and he flipped me off, and he looked nastier than anything. And I was like, yo, homie, I flipped him off too. And we had a stare down, he was, and then he went to go get it. And then he got back in his car he was going to follow me. And I said out loud, I was like, go ahead, bro, follow me and see where I take you to. I'll take you to the great Okaloosa County Sheriff's Department. Let's see what they can do for me for once. All right. And it was hilarious because he got out of his car and he went against following me. So thank you. But it was just funny because after I went through that experience, I did absolutely nothing to this man for him to do that. This is a man, I am a woman. But these are different things that I have to go through on a daily basis in my little community, right? And I thought to myself, I didn't think twice about responding in that nature. Me, a year ago, would have never. I was scared of my own shadow. I wouldn't have stepped up like that. I'm just so fearless now. I just don't care. I don't care. I know when my death is. And I know exactly where I'm going. So I just don't, and I will not allow people to mistreat me, particularly men. That's absolutely ludicrous. You just don't treat women like that. Women treat women catty. That's to be expected. Women are mean. That is to be expected. But men treating women like that for no reason, that's absolutely intolerable. Absolutely. But then you have, people of power literally mistreating reporters, how they talk to them. Take that where it resonates and let it sit there. But so there was that, and I wanted to share that. You know, if you're going to come at me that way, come at me, but be prepared how I respond. My water, my agua. But, you know, today was a really interesting day at work. We had our Wednesday meeting, and it was really nice. I know that my presence, that's the thing with me, my energy and my presence, you can tell when I'm down. You can tell when I'm down. And it's not because I mean to be, but it's just, I think it's just the aura that I carry, the energy that walks with me. You know what I mean? My presence and stuff like that. And I don't mean for that. I always try to be uplifting and happy and go lucky. But today I was just like heavy, even after my video I made this morning. And so we had our meeting, and there at the end, it was really positive. They ended on a positive note. The owner of the company is sick, and I could hear it in his voice how sick he was. And I immediately felt bad for that, because I was like, golly, that stinks. Like, being that sick and having so many responsibilities that you carry, with such a prestigious role in a company, I know that comes with pressures. I know, I've been there before. You know what I mean? And so I could just hear that. And I say that because I know there's a lot of people in a lot of different positions, a lot of different walks, a lot of different, you know, situations, and they carry different pressures and they carry different choices. And I try not to ever judge, you know. I know everything has moving parts, you know, but I never want anybody to be sick. I never want anybody to feel negative about themselves. I never want anybody to feel whatever. You know, I always want people to feel good. I always want people to be uplifted. And so that said, at the end of it, it's crazy because he brought up how he had met with an attorney and talked to him about his will, which I literally said something about that in my earlier video, and it really just got to me because he was saying that, you know, if anything happens to me, I just want you guys to know that I'm so grateful for all of you, and, you know, you're just a part of this, you know, team as I am. And he's very transparent, and I respect nothing but, like, I respect this man so much. I really, really do. And I could just hear when he was speaking, and they just were all speaking, I could hear the presence of the tone, and it really hit me. You know, it hit me like a ton of bricks. After, actually, I started to tear up after it, because it came to me that I do realize that God puts me in situations and circumstances for me to spread light, you know, give different perspectives, open up people's hearts, open up people's minds, open up people's concepts and their perspectives when it comes to religion, when it comes to their thought process, when it comes to their humility, their humbleness, their ways. You know, I know that because I am who I am, I operate how I operate. There is a lot that comes with that, because people question a lot of things about themselves and the way that they think, but they do it all internally. They don't say it out loud. They carry all these masks, because that's what we've been conditioned to do. And so it was really eye-opening to me, because I can see the presence, and the energy changing with my coworkers and the company, where I don't feel so, you know, I shouldn't say segregated, but in different ways sometimes, you know. And I get, because God's on the move, you know. Jesus and God, they're at work, you know, and they always are. And so it really it resonated with me, and I wanted to share that with you, because you have to always understand that in every facet of your life, every moment of your life, you're going to have the devil at work, and you're going to have God at work. And it's always in your mind. They're always in your mind, both of them. You know, you got the Christ conscience, and the devil wants you to put yourself before God, essentially. And that's what happens. A lot of the times you do. And then you make choices and you make decisions. I love you guys.